Hi guys, welcome back to Ferris Tutorials. In today's video, we're looking at CSEC Food, Nutrition and Health past paper questions for the exam year 2024, question 1. Are you ready? Let's go! Alright, so grab your pens, your paper, whatever you need, your thinking cap, because we're about to tackle it part by part, okay? Alright, now let's look at the question. It reads, define the term diet. 2 marks. Name one type of diet that is used by Caribbean people. 1 mark. Part B, 2 dietary guidelines that persons with dietary-related problems are advised to follow are 1. Reduce the intake of fats and oils, salt and processed foods. 2. Consume a variety of locally grown fruits and veggies daily. Now for each guideline, you're supposed to suggest 3 different reasons why this advice is given. Now, 1. Reduce the intake of fats and oils, salt and processed food, and also consume a variety of locally grown fruits and veggies daily, right? Now, each reason there that you suggest, you'll get 3 marks. Next part, list 3 vulnerable groups other than poverty-stricken persons that may be found in the Caribbean community. 3 marks. Explain 2 factors which may threaten the food security of poverty-stricken persons in the Caribbean community, and that part is worth 4 marks. So in total, question 1 is worth 16 marks, right? Words highlighted in this question are the word commands. So define, name, suggest, list, and also explain. Now let us briefly look at these word commands so that you can get maximum marks when you are answering your questions, right? So define, you're briefly going to state concisely the meaning of a word or term. List, where you would itemize without details, so you're making a listing of the particular content. Suggest, you offer an explanation deduced from information provided or your previous knowledge, right? Now, as it relates to name, you give only the name of, so that is similar to listing, right? And then finally, we have explain, where you give reasons based on your recall. Remember that question 1 normally comes from section 1 of your syllabus, right? And section 1 has to do with diet, lifestyle, and health, right? Now, as it relates to the general objective for this section, in summarizing, you should be able to understand the relationship between diet and good health, understand the factors that determine eating patterns and dietary choices in the Caribbean, and also appreciate the importance of physical activity as an important component of a healthy lifestyle. So having this wealth of knowledge, you'll be able to answer any question in whatever form it may come. All right, now let's look at the ideal responses. So the first one says, define the term diet, and that is 2 marks. Now my suggestion is try to give 2 points in your definition, even though you're just defining, right? So that you can get your maximum mark and not only 1 mark. So for instance, let's look at this response. The term diet refers to the food consumed daily. You'll get a mark there, and then continuing to say there are different types of diets, such as special diets, example low fat diets or low salt diets, right? So giving examples, right, or telling that there are different types, that's how you can maximize your potential of getting, the full 2 marks. All right, next, name one type of diet that is used by Caribbean people. Now, just a little point of information, guys. When you're being taught, your teacher may or may not use types of diet used by Caribbean people, but they may just teach you the topic types of diet. It's the same thing, okay? Don't get tricked by the question based on how it is stated. It is the same content, same knowledge that you have. All right, so 1, balanced diet. 2, reducing diet, and also another option there you could have diet which contributes to good health and well-being, such as high fiber diet, vegetarian diet, low fat, salt, and sugar diets, right? No, remember that you're only required to name, right? So just having balanced diet or reducing diet or high fiber diet is good enough to get you your 1 point. But seeing that we're revising, it would be nice for you to know, to remind you what these diets entails, because you may not get a question that says name the diet, but it may say describe or explain, right? So it will pull on your knowledge that you need to know these content. All right, next. 2 dietary guidelines that persons with diet-related health problems are advised to follow are: 1, reduce the intake of fats and oils, salt, and processed foods. 2, consume a variety of locally grown fruits and vegetables. Now, your task is for each guidelines, you're supposed to suggest 3 different reasons why this advice is given. So as you can see, you're pulling from your knowledge, right? So you know that these 2 dietary guidelines, you know what they are. Now you're supposed to suggest why, right, this advice is given. So when we speak of fats, oil, salt, processed foods, we're thinking about additives, we're thinking about obesity, we're thinking about heart disease, all that stuff, right? Salt, hypertension. Good. So think about the negative impacts that could be had if you consume a lot of these items, and the benefits that we will gain if they're reduced in the diet, right? So let us look at some ideal responses. So reason 1, helps prevent lifestyle diseases such as obesity, hypertension, heart disease, and type 2 diabetes. Another response, reduce the risk of high cholesterol levels, which can lead to blocked arteries and cardiovascular diseases or issues, right? And the final response that we have here, reason 3, processed foods often contain preservative and additives that may be harmful to long-term health and can negatively affect the kidneys and liver function. So 3 marks for each reason. All right. All right, next part. Consume a variety of locally grown fruits and vegetables daily. Now think about that dietary guideline. To answer this question effectively, you have to think about the benefits of fruits and vegetables in the diet, and also what are the benefits of supporting locally grown foods or eating locally grown foods. All right, now let's look at the reasons. Reason 1, provides essential vitamins, minerals, and fiber which support immune function, digestion, and our overall health, right? So that is one reason why we should consume a variety of locally grown fruits and vegetables daily. Reason 2, local fruits and vegetables are often fresher, right, and less expensive, making them more accessible and also nutritious as well. Reason 3, it encourages support for local farmers and promotes sustainable agricultural practices, which benefits the environment and the economy. All right, so those are some ideal responses in the event that you get a question as it relates to dietary guidelines. You may not get to suggest the reasons why they are given, but you may just get to state 3 dietary guidelines, right? All right. Next question. List 3 vulnerable groups other than poverty-stricken persons that may be found in the Caribbean community. So the command word in this question is a list, which simply means that you will itemize. So you just need to, for instance, have infants and toddlers and elderly people, pregnant and lactating women, and also specially abled persons. But as usual, it's nice to revise. So let us look why infants, toddlers, and elderly are considered as vulnerable groups in the community. No, they are vulnerable due to their age-related needs because infants and toddlers depend fully on caregivers, while elderly persons may face health issues and limited mobility or income. As it relates to pregnant and lactating women, they have health-related needs, including proper nutrition and medical care. Without support, both mother and child may suffer from poor nutrition and also poor health as well. Now, specially abled persons, they face disability related to challenges such as limited access to education, jobs, or even healthcare, and often experience social exclusion, right? Now, this is why these groups are considered vulnerable in the Caribbean, right? No, so you were just only required to list. All right, so infants, toddlers, elderly people, pregnant, lactating women, specially abled is adequate enough for this question. Now on to our next question. Explain 2 factors that may threaten the food security of poverty-stricken persons in the Caribbean community. Now remember, food security refers to when all persons at all times have access to safe and reliable foods, right? Now let us look at some issues. So, high cost of food items. Many poverty-stricken individuals cannot afford nutritious food due to the rising food prices. Now, this limits their ability to maintain a balanced diet, leading to malnutrition and also poor health. Another thing too, limited access to land and resources. Now, poverty-stricken persons often do not have access to land for farming or the tools and inputs needed to grow their food, which reduces their ability to be self-sufficient and secure a stable food supply. Another factor may include inadequate infrastructure and poor market access. Now, many rural areas lack well-developed roads, storage facilities, and reliable transportation system. This makes it difficult to distribute food efficiently, resulting in higher prices and limited availability for poverty-stricken persons. All right. The question required you to explain 2. We looked at 3 because, it's always good to have some extras in the bag, in the brain, right? Now, there's one little thing I'd like you to do for me. Please head on over to my cooking channel, Tika's Kitchen. We're cooking up a storm over there, guys. Subscribe, share, and also comment as well. So wrap, guys, for this question, right? Exam year 2024, paper 2, question 1. Right now, you can check out the channel to see other question 1s that are already available, and you can compare to see the question structure and what question you notice repeat, what topic area you notice that they focus on, right? All right, and that is it. See you for part 2 where we'll look at question 2. Good luck, and you've got this, okay? Now, if you find these tutorials valuable, please watch those ads, like, and share. Thank you.